Hello and welcome to A Pinch of Nerd, episode 2, or episode dos if you're nasty.
See.
With me, as always, is...
Mark Adams?
Oh, wait! You don't get to introduce yourself yet, because I didn't introduce myself.
Well, one of us can introduce you.
Well, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. I feel like I should introduce myself, and
okay.
I should...
That seems reasonable.
I just don't know if I know you well enough for you to
If you don't know me by now, then you'll never, ever, ever know me.
I don't think I'm qualified to introduce you either.
That's true.
You're actually way more qualified to introduce him than anyone.
So, hey everybody, I'm J. Allen Bell, and I'm a nerd. And with me, as always, is...
Mark Adams, and I, too, consider myself to be of the nerd-like persuasion. And to my right...
Aaron Bell, and I am a chef and a nerd.
Chef Aaron Bell.
And we are here on Pinch of Nerd podcast, where we bring nerd stuff together with foodstuffs. And we put one in our mouth and one in our brain.
And one in our heart.
Definitely one in our heart.
Well, they could both go to our heart, because, I mean, cholesterol and all that's going to really
It's going to get there eventually.
Yeah, some of these for sure. Some of these recipes that we've got.
Wait till the Mandalorian episode.
Ooh.
Is it just a bucket of fat?
That is the way.
Kind of. Think about fair food.
Ooh.
Unfortunately,
that's like F-A-R-E or F-A-I-R?
As in state fair food.
State fair food.
Like specifically
so
like
fried butter.
Iowa state fair food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of fried stuff.
Well, you know what?
I'm excited for that.
This episode isn't about the Mandalorian.
That's true.
No. So who gives a shit about that right now?
That's right. This episode is about tweeda da da tweeda. Da tweeda da da tweeda.
Jazz hands?
It is about scatting. No, that's
a whole different genre.
You know, that's a form of jazz vocalization, right? It's not.
Oh, that kind of scat.
Yeah. Let's be clear about this. For
not
a
the
second.
Pornhub kind of scat.
No,
Okay,
no,
good.
No. This is about the Tick. Episode 2, the Tick. Yes.
The Tick.
Very excited to talk about this.
The comic, The Tick.
Well, I don't think we specified. We just want to talk about the Tickiverse, right? Like we want to talk all things Tick. So I think the comics are on the table.
The cartoon is on the table.
The 3-season mid-90s cartoons on the table. The short-lived TV show from the early 2000s is on the table.
Was it 2000 or was it 90s?
I thought it was 2000s.
You're talking about the Patrick Warburton.
I am talking about the Patrick Warburton because there is a new series on Amazon Prime that just came out like a couple years ago. That's
so
also
new is relative.
New is relative. True. Newer than the Patrick Warburton series is the Peter Serafinovich series, which I don't know if you guys know anything about Peter, and his last name is so hard to say. Serafinovich. Serafinovich. He is hilarious. He is the creator. I believe he's one of the creators of the Look Around You series 1 and 2.
Never heard of it.
Oh my God, get on that! You got to get on that. I'm looking at Jay. Like,
so
do you know it?
Is Peter son of a bitchovich the Arthur guy?
No,
he's the Tick.
Showrunner.
He is the Tick.
Oh, he's the Tick.
He is the Tick. Yes.
Now, see, the only thing I know him from.
So they got a British man to play the Tick, which is interesting.
Yeah, the only thing I know him from is Shaun of the Dead. He's the roommate that hates Shaun.
Yes.
And then he's in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is he?
But we're not talking about Shaun of the Dead.
That's true. Or Guardians of the Galaxy. We're talking about da tweeda da da tweeda. Da tweeda da da tweeda. We're talking about the Tick.
So one thing that's come up from the previous episodes is establishing ourselves with our cred.
Credentials, yes.
And what makes us
nerds? What makes us experts?
Well, what makes us the authority in which to speak upon the subjects?
Well, we definitely, that is interesting. We took the time. It's kind of funny because we took the time, I recall we took the time last episode to establish our credentials with food, right? Like we have a chef on the show. Yes. You eat like a 12-year-old and I'm somewhere in the middle. But yeah, we didn't really talk about what established, which I think that's probably requires more credentials because a lot of these universes are very beloved and safeguarded into the hearts of many. And we're certainly not here to poop all over them. No
pooping.
As we've established, no scats.
Well, maybe a little scat.
Little scat, little doot shoot bop bop ba doot bop, but not the other kind of. Yeah, so let's establish our nerd cred. What does that look like for you guys?
Well, ours is probably the same.
Yep.
So we've been collecting comics since
the early 1990s.
Okay.
And have literally thousands, well, not probably literally, but hundreds at least, comics sitting right on the other side of that wall.
No, we have hundreds. We have thousands because the last time I checked, when we moved up here,
yep,
I think we want to say we're at about 6,000.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we've got a
24 long boxes, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Just on the other side of the wall. And that doesn't even count the ones that we read electronic.
And that doesn't count the ones that I have in my house, which I probably have another several hundred.
And
we do deep dives in most, if not all, well, not all, but most of the classic nerd stuffs. We have
somewhat more than me. I don't do Doctor Who.
We also have spent a lot of time at conventions, and not just attending, but also presenting.
Yep.
And we host a number of panels. We've done it at the Phoenix Comic-Con. We've done it at the...
Did you say Comic-Con?
He said Comic-Con.
I said Comic-Con. We haven't done San Diego.
You haven't done the San Diego Comic-Con?
We've been to San Diego.
I'm surprised.
We've never hosted anything at San Diego.
And of course, we were going to do Emerald City, but...
We've done Emerald City in the past, but, then we were scheduled to do 2020, but, 2020.
And
2020 was going to be our big breakout year.
Yeah. For a lot of people,
we were going to be there we were going to be there all weekend, several times a day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then...
There's always another year.
Rose City and Wizard Worlds we've hosted, so...
Las Vegas.
Oh, yes. We did Las Vegas as well.
So a lot of the West Side because we're from the West Side.
And I've been to New York Comic-Con.
Been to New York. Been to San Diego many times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Been to pretty much every state this side of the Rocky Mountains.
Yep.
So not necessarily experts, but well-versed.
I think well-versed, that's a great phrase to use to define our credentials is we're not getting into this yesterday.
Yeah, we know and we care.
And we care. Yeah, absolutely. And I think for my side of the coin, since I only started doing panels when I came to the lovely acquaintance of the two of you gentlemen, I kind of came into the nerd world, as it were, from the 80s cartoons, Dungeons and Dragons, and video games world. So I grew up playing 2nd edition D&D, collecting Voltron figures, Transformers, and NES.
We have all of that as well.
We've got that knowledge.
I ended up
not so much the D&D for us.
Well, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah. Mine's gaining rapidly.
I'll take you with me.
As we all play together. And
that's correct.
Have other sessions going.
Right. So, I used to have probably the same number of long boxes you had comics. I had NES cartridges. I did collect comics, mostly Marvel and X-Men, but sadly, a lot of those ended up in the great yard sale of 1990, as I call it, where
died.
The day a lot of my awesome collection that was probably worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, was sold for mere
pennies
to nickels.
But so I guess what we've established is we know what we're talking about, and we'll admit when we don't.
Oh yeah, and there will be those moments. Don't you worry.
But the nice thing is I think that between the three of us, there is some overlap, but also a lot that we each bring and we can discuss, and hopefully show the other people and show you at home, or in your car, or at work.
Yep.
Which is probably still at home.
Yep.
Why you should like these things. And why some of these things are neat and why they're cool.
And if you already like them, just join us in the revelry, right? Like, because that's one of the things I love is watching or hearing other people like the thing that I already like, which I know is kind of lame, but
high-fiving.
Right. It's just a high five that you can't feel.
And then also complaining when we get stuff wrong, because it's going to happen too.
Oh, yeah, and please feel free to complain. In fact, where can people complain to?
On our website, pinchofnerd.com. On our YouTube channel, our Instagram, wherever.
On Reddit. I'm just going Reddit.
Yeah. Wherever social media is sold.
Yeah. Just go complain everywhere.
Yeah, complain.
We don't really need to tell people where to complain.
They'll find a way.
Tell your neighbors.
Oh, definitely tell your neighbors.
Just knock on the door and be like, these guys are fucking idiots.
Just smash Rotten Tomatoes with negative reviews that even though you haven't seen it, just do that.
There you go.
That's how you complain.
All right.
So that's, I guess, establishing our cred.
Word.
Let's establish our cred now for The Tick.
Ooh.
So why don't you, Mark,
Me.
tell us a little bit about your interest in love and affection and history with Los Tic. That's
Well,
Spanish, in
right.
case you weren't sure.
El Tic, senor, if you would.
El Tica.
Los Tic would be like the Tic, as in like a group of Tic. But we're only talking about, well, I guess it is kind of a group of Tic.
So
Los
technically,
Tic,
I was correct.
You are okay.
So you
I will see.
tried
This,
to correct me. And
this
even
is
though I
another
was
moment
right.
where sometimes we get things wrong, folks, and we bring it back and keep on going. Yeah. So watched a lot of Fox Kids in my sort of pre and during and post pubescent years, and I recall the Tick being on Saturday mornings.
After the pubescent years,
Yes.
you did not watch The Tick. You watched.
Well, I don't
Scat
think
videos.
I don't think it was on by then.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Because if I recall correctly, 94 to 96. So
You
this
switched to.
this
Tick
actually would have been
fanfiction / fiction.
pubescent and post-pubescent years for me personally.
Was slash fiction even a thing back in the early 90s?
I
Had
think
that
it's
started? Had
always
that started
been a
yet?
thing.
Yeah, probably somewhere. There's always Usenet forums for that, right?
And just journals
Sure.
Just diaries
And
that
live
are
journals.
stashed under the bed.
that are stuck together.
So yeah, I pretty much just grew up watching the cartoon. I found it very irreverent, very humorous. Didn't really know about the sort of the more brooding, darker side on the comics front. Even now, I'm not as familiar with the comics, to be completely honest. But yeah, I grew up watching the cartoon. Just part of my repertoire. I ingested comics like tacos. I just more and more and more, please. So for me, it's just part of my cartoon lexicon.
We came on. Well, I'm saying we, but I'm assuming the cartoon is where it started for me,
Yeah.
because that show is without a question one
Yes.
of my favorite things that has ever been created.
100%.
And a quick side note: The Tick is also responsible, in part, for one of my other favorite loves, which I'm sure we'll get to at another point. Venture Brothers. 'Cause there's a direct connection there.
Okay. All right.
Because
Interesting.
Jackson Public, or his real name is Christopher McCulloch.
I don't actually know Jackson Public's real name.
I think it's Christopher McCulloch. He was
Okay.
a writer for the Tick the Cartoon
I
Show.
did not know that.
Yes.
That is
So
cool.
that's why there's
Not
a
surprising.
lot of similarities there.
Yes.
And we will get to the Venture Brothers. 'Cause
Oh,
that
I
is
can't wait
one
for
of the
that.
best things.
Oh my
Also
gosh.
one of the best things.
Cannot wait for that.
But the cartoon's where it
Pinnacle.
started for me, because it is just brilliant in so many ways and in so many episodes.
It was so different than anything that had been on.
yeah,
well, I mean,
absolutely.
there was in that time there was a whole lot of just weird, random cartoons. Like The Tick, it was on at the same time as Eek the Cat,
Yep.
and those were just so bizarre
Yeah.
that they grabbed your attention and
Yes.
you couldn't turn away.
I think given the time frame when a lot of these cartoons came out, it was really like Nickelodeon kind of set the bar with like Ren and Stimpy and even Rugrats to an extent.
So you never
Was-
watched that.
And everyone was trying to keep up with that, or at least on the network side, right? Because
Was Eek the Cat the one that was Savage Steve Holland?
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked Eek the Cat. Can we do an episode on Eek the Cat? I
could.
I would be very
Maybe.
okay with.
We'll
The,
get
the,
there.
very
the
okay
only
with
thing
that.
about that is that it's hard to find stuff on
Okay.
because they never released it on DVD. You can't find it. You can find kind of sketchy ones on
Gotcha.
YouTube,
Little Daily
but-
Motion searchy.
Maybe
Okay.
we'll do
I gotcha.
maybe we'll do a Savage Steve Holland episode.
That would be a good.
Okay. Yeah, I may not be familiar with the rest of his work, but I
Yeah,
definitely know.
I bet you are.
Okay.
A couple things.
Yeah, you never know.
But
There's a DVD of one of his things right up there. One Crazy Summer.
Ah.
so yeah, but we're again.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about the Tick.
The Tick. Well, you get it.
And again, the comics, which we have read,
Yep.
and there's some history with the comics.
But it all started with the cartoon. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, because that's
Same with me. Yeah.
outside of New England where it was originally created.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much anybody's first. Because when that show hit, I don't think he was anywhere known. I don't think
No, I don't
anybody
think
knew
so.
who the Tick was.
I don't remember seeing the Tick in at comic shops prior to the cartoon.
Okay.
But I wouldn't have known to look for him. I mean, so I guess I can't really answer whether or not how well known it was outside of
Well, back in
the
that day,
niche comic shops.
back in the day when we were going to the comic shop when this came out, it was all about the X-Men. It was all about Spider-Man because that's
Wolverine.
the Jim Lee X-Men. That's the McFarlane Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's the birth of Image Comics. So, a small, New England comics publication from the Tick isn't going to be on the shelf next to Spider-Man #1, McFarlane Spider-Man #1. So you're going to have to know that to look for it.
So real quick, are we going to acknowledge that weird whistle noise that just came out of nowhere?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay,
I didn't hear it.
So we're just not going to acknowledge that our studio is haunted.
What whistle noise?
Are you trying to recreate the haunted? That's the one. That's the one right there. Oh man. Yes. So probably it seems like, and this is a huge sweeping assumption, but for those of us that grew up, at the Rockies or West, probably didn't really grow up with those comics.
Okay. So favorite episode of the cartoon? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, that's easy for me. That would be. I have to think about the title though. That would be The Little Wooden Boy in the Belly of Love.
The one we literally
just watched, and I couldn't remember
To set the stage.
But no, season 2, episode 1, Little Wooden Boy and whatever. Hilarious. Absolutely. Just the thrill ride from start to finish. We get to find out the origin of Arthur's suit, at least according to the cartoon, because they change it for the new series.
And
the newer
series. And the other series.
Yeah, I actually don't remember the other series, but I remember the newer series.
I don't know if they ever got into how he got it, because I think, if I remember correctly, the first shot of him in that show is just him sitting at his accountant office.
Yeah, he just has it. So in season 2, episode 1, Arthur reveals that he bought the suit at an estate sale for some eccentric millionaire inventor, and he names the guy. And he tells this to like a sort of a complete stranger, but not really, like this kind of love interest lady who is wearing the same suit.
Who claims to be that guy's
daughter, which we later find out, yes, it's true, because they find him inside the belly of a whale, like you do. And so it's got a whale running coast to coast. It's got the origin of Arthur's suit. It has the Swiss, who are arbitrarily after Arthur's suit, and every single time they make an entrance, you hear that like skiing, like Goofy in the Art of Skiing, like yodel. You know the one, the like that one. And so yeah, it's got something for everybody. What about you guys?
Chef Aaron.
I've got the two that jump out at me, the two that I always go back to because I quote several times a day. Tick versus the Tick, nice. Which introduces the crazy midnight bomber, what bombs at midnight. And just the scene, there's a scene where they go to the club and Arthur gets kicked to the sidekick lounge with Fishboy, the German Shepherd, and the orangutan. And the orangutan just starts going, "Oh, Borneo, sweet Borneo. You want a snack, you just reach up and grab it." And I have said that exact line to my kids several times in their lives, and every time I get the strangest look.
I wonder why.
And the other one would be Tick versus Education.
Oh man, so you get to pick two. Okay, well, so if you get to pick two, I'm gonna also say the Tick versus Education. I'm gonna agree with you.
Just the concept of baby boomerangutan. Guy in an orangutan costume.
It's okay to play with dolls.
And then Sarcastro, and
I think Sarcastro is the best, most underrated concept of a superhero. A sarcastic Fidel Castro.
And that's his power.
And his power is that he's sarcastic. Yeah, he doesn't do anything. Yeah. In fact, he runs from danger.
The carpet guy who overheats.
He's in that
one?
No.
Or is that a different episode?
In a different episode.
Okay.
So the ones I remember...
the baby boomerangutan and Sarcastro.
There's Gesundheit.
The Fantastic Four, or like the...
Oh, okay.
The Fantastic Four ripoff team with like the four-legged boy and the carpet guy that builds up static electricity but always gets too hot.
But then he overheats,
and falls down.
Yeah, I don't think he was into Tick versus Education, but yeah, that and then of all people, the flying squirrel lady saves the day,
which is a complete precursor to Marvel's Squirrel Girl. They should sue.
All right, Jay.
Should sue.
What you got on the spot?
Well, the problem is, as you have established, picking a favorite episode. But I'm going to go with the I forget the name of the title.
We can look it up.
But the one with Sip Sap a Frog.
That's the Tick versus Apartment 4E, I believe.
Where Tick's neighbor is an alien that's trying to take over the world, named
Thackerzog.
Thackerzog, yes, thank you.
Nice.
But
And Chef Aaron is cheating by looking at the
Thackerzog has a
DVD.
roommate named like Steve or something. That's just
course
a
he
normal
does.
guy,
Of course he does.
and they argue about normal roommate stuff.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that. I haven't seen that one.
And Thackerzog has the little tongue that shoots out of his mouth and says, "I want to eat your brains."
Brains.
That's awesome. Yeah, the cool thing about, so like for anyone listening that has never seen the Tick cartoon, I'm going to just plug, if you have Amazon Prime Video, they're free to watch. And the greatest thing about getting, that
could change.
That could
depending
change,
on when
right?
you listen to this.
At the time of recording, this is all free to watch on Amazon Prime Video. If there's a better time to get into like an old series, it's now, because you can watch them from start to finish and get a sense of some degree of chronology. When growing up, they would just be on, and I might not see the origin of Arthur's suit. I might see something else, with Dinosaur Neil or something, like.
It was the Tick versus the Uncommon Cold.
That's right.
Was the name. That's season 1.
Season 1 was really
because
good.
The Tick has a cold.
Thackerzog clones him from his mucus.
So I think clearly by the way we're talking about, we're a fan of the Tick universe, but we're really big fans of the cartoon.
So yeah, well, because going along with what Jay was saying, for the longest time, like going to cons and stuff like that,
yeah,
my holy grail,
yep,
was a Thackerzog figure. So they made very few. They made several, well, maybe like 10 different characters from the Tick cartoon. I always wanted Thackerzog.
Nice.
I could never find him. And then I want to say probably towards the end of our run of going to San Diego, I finally found him. I have him somewhere.
I'm very sad to report that I never had any Tick figures. Not even just like
that's one of the
Tick
few. That's, I think, the only one I have. I might have some of the figures from the Patrick Warburton series.
Yeah. Okay.
They released a line of that. But Thackerzog, I think, is the only actual Tick cartoon toy that I have.
Didn't we have a big Tick? A big, tall...
A big
Tick?
talking Tick?
Yeah.
Actually, yes, we do. I do have that one. And he says spoon.
I'm not going to...
Of course he does. I have in my office over there, I have a spoon that says spoon on it.
Perfect.
And also is from the Tick.
Nice. Now, do you guys remember where Spoon came from?
They needed a
rally cry.
Yep.
Yeah.
They needed a battle cry, and the Tick just happened to be eating cereal while mustering or amusing over his battle cry, and he kept staring at his spoon, and he sees his reflection. He's like, "Spoon!" And of course, Arthur's like, "The hell are you talking about?"
So that completely just brings back another memory of another great episode, and something that I work into probably a weekly thing is the episode where Tick gets speak.
The episode where Tick gets speak? I don't remember that.
His pet speak.
Oh!
And
they go to Tick versus the Aztecs, I think, is what it is.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he gets, and he hallucinates, and the dog talks to him, or the capybara talks to him. And he's like, "I'm going to name you Speak because that's what you do." Which I will say that to my kids again.
Oh, it's
like, "I'm going to name you this because that's what you do."
I enjoy the irreverent quotes to your children. That's fantastic.
So we've established that when we're talking about the Tick, I mean, a lot of our joy and a lot of our love of the Tick really does go to the cartoons.
It's true.
And I guess less so to the others, but we do enjoy the others, like the Patrick Warburton.
I've already pointed out that Peter Serafinovich is, like, just about anything he does, I'm going to give a shot.
Yeah, and I mean, great. Patrick Warburton, too, is
that's true.
Probably the best Tick that they've had. I mean, just his general presence and that voice that he has is the Tick in my mind.
One of my favorite Tick moments, actually, is from that show when he's talking to, I forget the character name because I haven't actually watched the live action with Patrick Warburton in a while.
Yeah,
but he's in the locker room with like the Superman kind of rip-off character.
Oh, geez.
And he keeps putting on his glasses, and he goes, "Oh, where did he go?"
I was just talking to him.
And he keeps getting confused because the guy puts on his glasses as his alter ego, and he keeps getting confused as to who he's actually talking to.
Oh man, that's great.
And I have watched, so I've watched all of the Tick cartoon, I've watched all of the Tick with Patrick Warburton, and I've watched all of the newest Prime Tick.
Every single one of them was canceled too early.
Yeah. And I will say that I think I enjoy, they go for me in decreasing love.
I see.
So the cartoon
Bless you.
is one of my favorite things, as I've established. The Patrick Warburton is great. I like it.
Yeah.
But the newest one, I was kind of just like, it's okay.
It was good. It had its moments, but it was just...
It's definitely like, it's like, let's throw the Tick into like a more modern, like serial
Well, the way I
story.
saw it was... It's the Tick in the
ridiculousness
MCU.
was kind of taken out. The over-the-top ridiculousness of the cartoon,
Right,
which I love,
right.
was kind of pulled out.
Well, let me ask you guys a question, because I'm less familiar out of all of these franchises. I am the least familiar with the comic, and my understanding is the comics are really dark. Do they hold up as well? Like,
I wouldn't say they're dark. They're just,
Yeah.
again, like the cartoon, they're weird.
okay,
It's like
weird.
one of the
Okay,
main
weird is good.
one of the main characters who makes several. He was in the comic, or he's in the cartoon once. The man-eating cow
Yes,
is in there. He's in several issues.
I think in the
that we
cartoon
have.
it's literally just a cow.
Yeah, and that's what he is in the in
Okay.
the comics.
Okay.
But he's in there for several episodes. He's an actual character, whereas
Okay.
in the cartoon he's just a
He's literally like a cow.
blip in it, and they mention him, and that's it.
I want to say the man-eating cow was featured in the wooden boy episode where I think maybe I'm misremembering.
I don't
I might be
remember.
misremembering.
Now I want to say it was the one where they kind of had the Legion of Doom, with the guy with the hand puppet.
Yeah, the human ton.
Yeah,
I forget the hand
Handy.
puppet's name, but probably
I'm
Handy.
pretty sure it's Handy.
Okay.
No, but it's nothing like the comic is nothing like, say, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's what I'm thinking of. That's exactly what I'm where the cartoon is just, which I loved the cartoon growing up, and I hope we do an episode of
We will.
TMNT. Oh, good.
Turtle soup,
Well, like the cartoon is
something
just pure
special for that.
saccharine,
ooze.
but the black and white comic is dark.
Yeah, no, it's not like that because, like I said,
Okay.
it's Ben Edlund is the writer, the
Yeah,
creator of the
so
Tick.
he was
is
involved with everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he goes along with it, and it's the same, genre, the same, kind of feel that from the comic to the show to
I
the
see.
to the cartoon to the show.
Well, then I guess knowing that,
But the silliest one is the cartoon.
yeah. Absolutely, because you can do more in animation than you can in
well, I mean,
still paper.
the Patrick Warburton was
It's pretty silly.
had its moments
like
because he was
sitcom
dumb.
silly. Yeah.
He was a little bit smarter in the new Prime one, but not by much.
Not by much. No, he's Peter Serafinovich is definitely. So you can probably already tell that for me it's the cartoon. I don't really know about the comics. I still haven't read them, but I will soon. Then the Amazon series, and then the Patrick Warburton series. For me, that's more at the bottom because my memories of it is like them walking around sound stages making jokes, and to me that's just boring. So I'll be contrarian and say meh.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of meh.
But that was
me.
also that's the time.
Yeah,
When that came out, that's
yeah,
what
totally.
a superhero show was. I mean,
Totally.
that was about the same time as the original Flash show, which was the exact same as that.
Was it really? It was people walking around sound stages and making
Not making jokes, but making running.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
But we do have a connection to the Tick comic.
Ooh. And I'm interested to hearing that, but maybe before we do that, we go to our sponsor.
Nope.
We do not go to our sponsor. Never mind. I'm not in control of this stuff. You're the one with the timer.
God damn it, we absolutely will not go to any fucking sponsors yet. But we will, and I hope that you enjoy them when we get there.
Yeah.
And purchase everything that they offer.
All the stuff and things, because that helps us, and thank you.
But first, a story.
I like
And
stories.
that story begins...
In the magical year of 2003. No,
20 odd
whatever year it
I have
was.
no idea what year it was.
Oh, okay.
No, it was...
Well, how long ago are we talking about?
it was definitely before pre-2008.
Okay.
Guess I'll get it going because I think I'm the one that actually started the whole thing.
I think so. I have it somewhere. But
Well, I mean, yeah, we've adapted it to other things, but no, it's so I would periodically check their website.
Okay.
It was newenglandcomics.com. I honestly
Oh.
have no idea if that's still even up. It's still around.
probably.
Anyways, I was working a desk job, so I was sitting in front of a computer a lot. So I would check websites all the time. So that was on one of my radars that I would check maybe once a month or so.
Why specifically New England Comics?
Because that's where they sold it through.
Got it.
That was the publication, that was the publisher that published the Tick. So I would look and see if they were coming out with anything new, if there was any, the DVDs or the cartoon were being released, any kind of news about the Tick was on newenglandcomics.com.
Gotcha.
So one day I'm looking at the website and they have basically, I don't know if it was an ad or anything, basically just a call for stuff. It's like, you want to write the new tick? Send us your pitch.
Nice.
And so,
okay.
Jay Allen and I put together, I think we did it overnight, and I think we sent them
Oh yeah, what did you send them?
15 different ideas.
15.
Like, and we fleshed out like full on, 3 to 5 issue arcs. I don't think it was 15. I know we did at least 3 or 4.
Okay.
We did a bunch.
But you definitely gave them try one of these.
So yeah, we did that. We did. Actually, I think first of all, we before even that, we just submitted a thing saying, "Hey, this is what we've done. Here's some samples of our writing, and here's
And I think that's what it was. It was, hey, do you want to write for the Tick? Send us your CV.
For the Tick. Okay.
Yeah. So we did that, and then that got us in touch with the main publisher, and I'm gonna forget his name now. It's probably not important, but he comes back and he's like, "Great, send me something tomorrow."
Wow.
And that's why
really?
that's why we did it the night. Basically, we took a night, and us being us, we didn't want to just submit one thing.
Right.
We came up, because we had 1,000 ideas. We came up with several, and we pitched them. And then, like I said, I want to say we did 2 or 3 full-on like pitches, like actual. This is the arc.
Well, I think,
Wow.
if I remember right, we sent him a couple things, and he said, "Okay, these are okay. What do you got for these?"
Okay. So he
And
was
then
he
we
was
went
digging you
deeper,
for
yeah.
more. Oh, that's cool. That's good. That's
So
good.
we went back and forth with him a little bit, not a lot,
Okay.
but I think at least a couple rounds where
You got his attention, which
We
is
got-
huge.
we got close,
Yeah.
and nothing ever came of it.
Okay.
Because I ended up going with somebody else and not picking any of our stuff. But
But the fact that you got any attention at all other than thanks anyway and bye, or, silence.
That's
It's
happened to
huge.
us. Well, I'm sure we'll get there, but we've had a couple almosts a couple times now.
I mean, that's pretty awesome, I have to say, because I've had a couple of, into the ethers.
We've got a bunch of those too, but
we got a lot of that.
Kind of goes without, goes
we've
without
got,
saying.
we've got a couple damn nears. But
Well,
that
son of a bitch, that's awesome.
It was, and then
Yeah.
but it was at least a good enough experience that it never turned us off. So
Yeah.
I didn't feel necessarily rejected or
No, you
shut
shouldn't.
out.
You shouldn't at all. That's any sort of encouragement type of response to me. For anyone listening, I'm not an expert in publishing, but I've dabbled in trying to get into that world. Any kind of positive reaction that isn't "go away, screw you," because even "go away, screw you" is I took the time to write the words "go away, screw you" on an electronic paper and send it to you. That's still time taken away from these people. So anything above that is huge.
Yeah, we were just hoping that anything that we'd send him so many ideas that he was just bombarded and be like, maybe not now, but next time.
Right. Even
How
that
about
would
for
be
next
great.
time? Actually, I do think he even said that, but we never heard from him again.
Yeah. I mean, if you were hyper serious, we are going to write for the Tick, this is going to be our world for the next whatever. If you had followed up with him a month later, who knows?
Yeah, I don't think we did. We probably should have,
But you could have, yeah. But whatever.
I think
That's still pretty awesome.
We probably just sat there waiting at our mailbox,
Yeah.
Every time the phone rang, we'd look at it. No, it's just a telemarketer.
Is it New England Comic? Oh, it's
Nope.
the water company.
It's from Phoenix. Damn.
Dang it, Phoenix.
It's not from Boston.
Well, I don't have any cool pitch to a comic stories, unfortunately.
No,
I'll see if I can find him. I have everything we've ever done.
That's
somewhere.
awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can tell you exactly what it was. And the idea we had was Tick and Arthur basically completely screw up, obviously, because that's what they do. They destroy the city, and they basically get banned from being superheroes. So they get contacted.
This is all trademark, by the way.
Yes.
If you're listening, any
Do not steal this New England comics.
comic writers or comic people or TV people.
Yeah.
This is ours.
So then they get contacted by an agency, let's say.
Okay.
And I won't give any more specific details.
Aha.
And then they go on to save the world.
Yeah. No, I can
with a
totally see
spoon.
that. Yeah, I can see that.
And then, but the weird thing was we wanted to make a different spin on it, so we just had them totally nude the whole time.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
Everybody
so for
was
the
nude.
adult division, it's
No, I mean it was tasteful nudity, so if kids did look at it, it was cool.
Yeah.
okay, just side everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything was implied.
A little bit of
so-
side dong.
Yeah, everything was implied. So the 15-page sex scene that we had in there was all implied.
Was right. It's all just black panels and
Yeah.
sex
Yeah, just like-
occurs.
Well, no, it was
Sex occurs here too.
It wasn't even that explicit.
Properly
Just
placed bubbles.
yeah, word
Oh,
bubbles
okay.
that said like ooh, or like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pound, pound, pound.
It's like direction to artist, black panel, caption. I love it. So what is the tick's relationship with food? Oh, I love the dead air though. That's great. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, you can look at it and,
We've already talked about the cereal. I don't remember any other episodes where he's eating cereal a bunch. but-
well, I mean, you can look at some of the villains he has. El Cid. There's Mr. Uncle Creamy.
Uncle Creamy, yeah.
Voiced by
There was
Bobcat
the
Goldthwait.
butter guy,
The butter guy. The breadmaster.
the breadmaster, who Butter Pat I think was his sidekick.
Oh, butter.
Pineapple Pocapo.
Oh man.
So, I mean, there was a lot of food in there.
So I kind of feel like the Tick universe like takes the familiar that is food and kind of throws it in our face a little bit.
Okay, well you know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's time for a segment,
Oh, segment.
and this one I think is everyone's favorite segment.
I'm excited.
If you could eat one supervillain, which supervillain would you eat?
Uncle Creamy.
Why? Because
Because it's ice cream. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? He's soft serve, so it's going to go slide right down the gullet, and you don't have to fight. You don't have to chew. Get your mouth all tired.
So my brain immediately went to the gutter, and I'm going to apologize now. But I'm going to go for Dinosaur Neil because if it's good enough for Dot, it's good enough for me.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Dot married Dinosaur Neil, so
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I see.
Should she eat him in the show,
Yes. No.
or did he eat her?
Oh! Wait, hold on. Yeah.
Oh no, actually,
Wait,
this one's probably a little bit more appropriate.
If you couldn't tell, we got a new little soundboard. that has sound
Royalty
effects.
free sounds.
But I don't get it.
Okay.
Why would
that was my
why would
answer.
he eat her?
Yeah,
Because he's a dinosaur.
because because he's ferocious, or can be ferocious if he mixes his. I'm trying to remember in the episode. I think he mixed his he was eating something like spam
Or Dot.
he was
The
eating
dots-
food,
the candy
not
dots?
human being. Yeah, there you go. In a dish, and it looked like a petri dish, and he mixed them up, or they something got bumped into his food, and he ate it, and it turned him into a dinosaur. So yeah, and then they healed him with aspirin of all things.
One thing that's kind of disappointing, but I understand why, because lawyers be lawyering,
Word.
but Deflator Mouse is Deflator Mouse in the cartoon, but in the first live action show, he was Batmanuel,
Batmanuel.
which is a good name.
Yes, it really is actually.
And good character.
Yeah, great. Very actually, that's the one thing about the show I remember the most, besides Patrick Warburton, is Batmanuel.
The funny thing is that anytime he shows up in anything, so he was in I don't know if you guys ever watched Psych. He was in several episodes of Psych.
I loved Psych.
He was in.
Wait, who was he in Psych?
He played Juliet's boyfriend / fiance for 3 or 4 episodes. But he's been in several other shows. I mean, he was in The Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, nice.
Anytime I ever see him in anything, all I can think about is Batman.
Funny
Even
how that
as
works.
serious as it is.
Apologies
Batman
to all would-be Hollywood actors.
Sorry, Nestor Carbonell.
Yes. But wait, so I actually haven't finished watching the newer series. Is there a Deflator Mouse or a Batmanuel?
No, but they have that other guy.
Okay.
They have the Punisher-esque guy.
Oh, Big Shot. Is it Big Shot? Because there was Big
It's
Big
not
Shot.
Big Shot, but it's
Okay.
kind of a Big Shot character.
He has guns. and
His name is Overkill, and then he's
Same
got
thing.
he's got his boat,
Okay.
which the name of the boat is, I want to say Killboat or something like that.
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is voiced by Alan
Tudyk.
Tudyk, whatever his name is.
That's awesome.
Sorry, Alan. I'm sure you're listening. Sorry for
Our
butchering your last name.
apologies.
If
He's our
you
biggest
want to
fan.
drop a comment into the thing to let us know how to properly pronounce your last name, that's
So wait,
great.
Jay, you didn't tell us which supervillain you would eat.
So before I answer that question,
Yes.
I would like to invite our listeners to also weigh in on which supervillain they would like to eat.
What supervillain would you eat? Dear
So
listener?
please feel free to let us know
Yes.
and let each other know if you could wrap your lips around a tasty supervillain.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Which one would it be?
What would it be? Yeah. We get a little ASMR for this one. Yeah,
And
that's
for
good.
me, it would be the man-eating cow because god damn do I love a hamburger.
Now
That's kind of a
that would be a man
cop out. Yeah, that's
That
kind
would
of a
be-
cop out.
well,
All right, no, then I would
no, that's fine. But
I would wrap my lips around the teat
of a man
of American made.
Oh,
of American made.
I feel like the man-eating cow, you get some mad cow goodness there, and who knows what happened after that.
Well, no, because he's eating man, not other cows. That's what causes mad cows.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
gotcha.
But-
Thank you, chef.
But then would I get mad man disease
Oh, man cow
because-
disease. You would get man cow disease.
if the cow is eating people
Yep.
and then I drink the milk
Yep.
of the cow that ate people?
Right.
Would I then? Is that cannibalism?
Yes.
Is that indirect
No.
cannibalism?
Yes. I don't know, chef.
Yes.
As
Yes.
a chef.
Yes. As
please,
a chef.
please weigh in on your expertise with regard to eating human beings.
Chicken.
I'm all for it. Oh, I mean cows. Yeah.
How
Right.
far-
No.
How
Would
far
you eat a
removed?
cow that ate a man because it's a man-eating cow?
Yes.
Okay.
How far removed from the eating of a human do you have to be to where you are not a cannibal? Is it one step? Like, so if you eat a lion that ate a human, is that enough to not be a cannibal? Or even be at risk of becoming a cannibal? Or do you have to be
Yes.
more steps further down the line?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, it's basically 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
So you have to be 6
Delicious.
degrees away
Yes. From Kevin Bacon.
from...
So if somebody ate Kevin
Does
Bacon,
Kevin Bacon taste like bacon?
probably.
Yes. I mean, he kind of looks like bacon. at
I'm
this
sure
point
I'm
in
not
his
the
life.
first person to wonder that.
No, you're not.
You're probably
This
not the first
Daily
person
Shower
to check
thought
either.
for me. Right?
Ah.
Oh God!
I wonder if the first time he
brain
got,
went to bad places there.
I wonder if the first time he got a blowy,
That's
if
where my
the-
brain went.
if the person that finished
That's where-
just leaned back and said,
Salty.
didn't taste like what I thought it would taste like.
Pineapple.
All right. I'm going to reel us back in real quick. But to what degree of what a cow eats, like, because we look at like corn-fed beef and like grass-fed beef, right? And we're literally talking about human-fed beef right now. Like, how much would we notice the difference, right? Like, if you put a grass-fed steak in front of me, like, oh, that's really good. And you put a corn-fed steak in front of me, like, oh, that's pretty good. And you put
so
a
this is a-
human-fed steak in front of me. What do you think?
Well, so my experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I can speak from this from just a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
You had a human.
Yes, I had a human steak. It was our anniversary, so we splurged a little bit.
Yeah.
No,
Happy anniversary.
We did buy a couple, fresh grass-fed steaks.
Mm-hmm.
The taste was amazing.
Okay.
Texture was not as good as I would have liked it to be.
Interesting.
So, I mean, of course, that's going to speak to the fact that it was an actual local butcher,
Yep.
actually farmer butchering the cow and all that stuff, as opposed to the mass marketed steaks that you buy.
Right. That's like more like the corn-fed cows, right? Yeah.
But like I said, the taste wise, the steak was amazing. Texture wise, it was a little tough.
How did you prepare it?
Seared it and then basically
Did you do reverse sear?
No, I did not, and I didn't even put it in the oven. I just seared it.
Okay.
That's about how we ate it. About
That should
a little bit over medium rare.
Okay. Yeah, that should
Just
over
wave it
medium
over a
rare.
candle.
Yeah,
Oh, that's for
I lit
for
a fire
love.
next to it.
There you go.
And that's,
I made it stop mooing and then I served it.
My concern here is that you've skirted the question about whether or not a human-fed steak would be any good, or if you've even had one. So
I
answer
can't
the-
say that I
answer the-
haven't. I don't know if I have it. I have had one.
Yep.
There's a chance. I think it would be pretty good. I don't think it would cause any difference.
Maybe a little more fatty.
Yeah, probably might be like the
The Japanese one.
yeah.
Japanese.
All I can think of is Wagyu.
Oh, Wagyu beef. Yeah, that's
but no,
good.
what's the other one? Kobe beef.
Kobe, yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you guys had Kobe beef?
I have had
I have.
Kobe.
I have
beef.
not had it.
I've had
I've had a
hamburgers.
Kobe hamburger.
I've had
Oh.
hamburgers. I've never had a Kobe steak.
I've had Wagyu.
I've had Wagyu
Yeah.
hamburgers.
That's
I've
the
never had a
American
steak.
version of that, right?
I believe so. I'm not 100% up on that.
right.
There's a hamburger place in Vegas that has. It's actually one of my favorite hamburger places. What chef is it? Some famous chef has.
I'm not sure.
Rick Bayless?
No, he's Mexican.
Oh, no, he's Mexican.
He's Mexican.
I'm thinking Bobby Flay. That's what I'm thinking.
It's not Bobby Flay's.
Okay.
We've been to Bobby Flay's in Vegas.
Okay.
Between Mandalay Bay and Luxor.
It's been
that-
7 years since I've been to
There's a
Vegas.
strip
Well, it's
of
been
shops.
pretty much that since we've been
Yeah.
there.
I don't know. It may not even still be there, but there used to be a hamburger
Okay.
place there. It was kind of like a build your own burger.
Oh,
place,
okay,
And
okay.
they had Kobe beef as a selection, and it was very good.
Probably
So
very
you can
expensive.
Very, very
like you can go to Kroger and they have Wagyu like ground beef for fairly cheap.
Do they have the ones that are human fed?
Yes, that's
You have to get them at a certain time of
That's
day.
Mangu, not Wagyu. Get it?
no.
I pressed
Oh,
the
you keep
button
hitting the wrong
twice.
button. It's D.
No, I meant to press B.
Oh. Well, it should have been. No, that's Mangu.
I don't get it.
You should probably move the Zoom as far away from me as possible because I might keep doing that.
Like I said, we still need the toilet flush. Wagyu.
Oh,
So it is about time that we take a quick little break before we
Sounds
dive into the recipe for today's episode.
I'm very excited.
So we'll step away for a minute,
We'll be right back.
enjoy our sponsors, and we'll return shortly.
Yes.
After these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, and welcome back to A Pinch of Nerd, a podcast where we talk about foodstuffs and nerd stuffs.
Nerd stuffs.
One in the tum-tum and one in the brain.
One of the thumb.
The thum-thum.
Thumb?
I was thinking bum bum,
The
but
think
that's,
the thinking.
Bum-bum.
The think sink. The bum.
Well, I mean, I'm sure some of these
Sorry, a little
recipes...
late to the party there.
Some of the recipes that will be...
There will be one for the bum bum.
yes,
be
they
something.
will be definitely.
We already mentioned State Fair. That's definitely for the bum bum. But yeah, today we've got some very delightful cookies that I'd love for Chef Aaron to talk about.
So when I was thinking about
I'm
the
just
take,
going to take a bite.
I am totally going to take a bite.
yeah, go ahead, eat them, enjoy them. While I was thinking about the tick, the main thing you got to think about is the tick himself. And what is he? He's blue.
Here's blue.
What does blue go with? Blueberries.
Blueberries. Oh,
What does blueberry go in?
Cookies. Pie.
Which is not
else?
necessarily the thing. So I'd never seen a blueberry cookie. I'm
These are
sure
delicious.
there's probably some out there, but I have never had one. So I decided to make some. And so what I did is I started with
Blueberries?
Yes, blueberries. And how this recipe comes together is you essentially make a blueberry compote.
okay.
And that's where the blueberry flavor comes.
What's a compote?
Compote is basically just a fruit sauce. So take some blueberries, mix it with some sugar, mix it with some water. You can use orange juice to give it that little extra pop of...
So, scissor.
It's kind of, yeah, like a fruit dessert.
Kind of without the codeine cough syrup. But I mean, if that's what you're into, go ahead and add codeine cough syrup
I'm going to look the other way.
to the compote. But basically, that's
I'm sorry. I need to interrupt. I'm going to accidentally have another one.
you didn't quite taste that one.
Yeah, I need to have more.
So you go ahead and make your blueberry compote, and you basically use that as part of the sugar. So as you're, mixing the other stuff up, creaming together the butter and the other sugars.
You said cream.
Yeah, turdy. You add the compote in, and that gives it some more of that sugar taste. So you get not only the blueberry flavor from the compote, you get a color, which these are a little bit more purple than blue.
I mean, they're pretty blue.
Yeah.
They're like a bluish gray.
But you get that flavor in there. And I want to stress this because, trial and error on this recipe
Yes.
is when you make these cookies, when you're doing the fruit compote, you want to make sure you have the best fruit.
Absolutely.
If you get really flavorful fruit, and the thing is about these also, they don't have to be blueberries. You can do the compote out of blackberries, out of raspberries, out of strawberries, make whatever you want,
What about elderberries?
probably.
Okay.
Just any kind of flavor that you want, you can essentially make these cookies in. But the thing is, if you get some kind of bland, tasteless blueberries, you're going to get a cookie that's not as good as, if you get fresh off the vine.
Right. So we're talking
blueberries.
like late spring into late summer is berry season, at least here
Yep.
in Oregon. And we are very, very fortunate to be inundated with amazing berries.
Well, that's the best thing. That one of my favorite things now is we live about 20 minutes from about 15 different farms that I can go and pick berries. And they're amazing. I mean, the one that we typically go to, they have blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, golden raspberries, strawberries.
Wow. Oh, golden raspberries are amazing.
They are.
We can do a whole episode just talking about berries. I'm looking at Jay Allen like.
But I mean, they have everything, and just you walk through, and it's super cheap.
Yep.
You can get 15 pounds of blueberries for about $10.
Beautiful.
Would you say that they're very good?
I would say they're very delicious. That's where I would go with that.
No, goddamn it, you hit the wrong one.
No, I didn't.
All right.
No, I didn't.
Would you say they're very delicious?
No, I would say they're very delightful. I couldn't come up with another
Would
berry.
you say they're very enjoyable?
I couldn't come up with another one.
Berries.
They're
Okay.
very distracting.
Very distracting. Speaking of distracting, I do have to comment a little bit about the appearance of the cookie. And this is by no means a criticism. I need to point that out. They do a little bit. So when I heard blueberry cookies, I literally pictured like a chocolate chip cookie. But instead of chocolate chip, like a blueberry pancake, I pictured a cookie with like what looked like blue chocolate chips, but they're blueberries. These
That would
are
kind of be cheating. I think,
That would be more
Would it
like
be
a
cheating?
you know,
I don't think so.
The way I see it,
I
it'd
don't
be
think
kind
so.
of like a oatmeal raisin type situation.
Totally.
Where you wouldn't want to use fresh blueberries in those cookies because that would make it way too soggy. I mean, you could get like the dried blueberries, like the craisins type, cranberry raisins, and that would be delightful as well. But I wanted to go with something a little bit more inundated.
And that's what I was going to point out, which is, again, not a criticism, but these things are blue everywhere. They look like smushed Smurfs, and that makes me so happy.
So you could actually have used this same recipe, I guess, for a Smurf episode. These could be Smurf cookies
These could
where
totally be Smurf
you've
cookies.
just ground up a handful of
These
Smurfs.
are this is out of Gargamel's recipe book.
How many Smurfs would you need for each? I understand this is the tick episode. However,
Well,
out of pure curiosity, how
clearly,
many
yeah.
Smurfs would you need to murder per cookie?
Well, see,
cookie.
here's the thing. So this recipe with blueberries calls for about 2 cups of blueberries.
Okay, that's a lot of
So
blueberries.
that's decent amount, and
Yeah.
then you reduce with a cup of water and some sugar. You reduce that down to about a cup.
So you would need
So
2
with
cups of dead Smurfs.
but see, here's the thing. Where does the blue come from? The blue comes from the skin. So you would have to
Yes.
skin probably.
Oh, you
a
could zest.
good-
You would zest the Smurf.
No, I would flat out skin them.
Oh, okay.
With a potato peeler and just go to town, and probably would, with the size of Smurfs, to get 2 cups, I would say you'd probably need a good 10 to 15, if they were the baby ones from the later seasons of Smurfs, then you would need a lot more than that.
I'm not talking about like veal cookies. I'm definitely like adult Smurf.
Again, so
Smushed cookies.
this is the tick episode, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about murdering Smurfs.
Right.
But if you had to murder a Smurf in order to make a cookie, which
Brainy.
one are you gonna? Okay, yeah,
Brainy.
which one are you gonna murder first?
Hands down, Brainy.
Brainy. Why Brainy?
Shut that motherfucker up.
No, Jokey or whatever, the one that made the tricks.
Oh, the bombs.
yeah. No, you're first on
Yeah,
the list.
his joke was bombs. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's good.
The
You know,
first,
I
the first
also-
one that I would murder
Yeah.
is Papa Smurf because I'd let all of those motherfuckers know who's in charge.
Well, Papa
I'm in charge.
Papa Smurf is aged, which means he probably has a really refined flavor.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit tougher skin. Though,
Well,
too.
yeah, you got to kind of get in there.
It might be easier to peel off.
Yeah. I realize that we're 2
Little bit more
episodes
hair.
deep. We're 2 episodes deep, and we really do like to talk about the killing and eating of fictional characters, which I don't know if that's intentional, but I just thought I'd point that out.
Well, to be fair, we actually also talked about the killing and eating of humans.
That's true, which are not fictional. They are, in fact, real.
Yeah, so
Are they? Are we all just in the Matrix?
I pressed the right button! I just really like that royalty-free sound effect.
Anyway, so you make a compote,
Yes.
and then you pour it into some shit,
That doesn't sound
and then
right at
bake
all.
it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, no, because so the compote, but you're obviously there's got to be some dry ingredients in there too, right?
Yes, there's some flour in there.
So a note about these are actually gluten-free.
This batch is gluten free. Yes.
Which I have to tell you, by flavor alone and by texture, would have had no idea. As someone who loves gluten And even if I had celiac disease, I would never stop eating gluten.
Well, that's the thing.
Deal with the consequences.
I would deal with the consequences.
The good thing is nowadays, I mean, I've never really used gluten-free flour until, honestly, this is one of the first recipes I've used. But they've got so many different choices now. I was going to buy regular flour, but I saw, since we know people who are gluten-free, who I figured might want to enjoy a cookie as well.
Yes.
I figured, hey, what the heck? I would try it. There's a certain brand of thing that was said 1-to-1. Because, usually with, in the before time, you wanted to get gluten-free flour, you'd have to take, a cup of this and a cup of that. So a cup of tapioca flour, a cup of rice flour.
Right.
You'd have to take about 15 different things to make your own.
Right.
Well, now they're actually making gluten-free AP flour.
Absolutely.
And like I said,
AP equals all-purpose for
all-purpose,
those of you that don't know.
I had no idea.
That mostly for Jay Allen.
I thought it was advanced purpose.
for advanced placement.
AP biology.
Advanced placement flour. Yes.
Yeah.
How'd you do on your AP flour test? Not so good.
I'm accidentally going to eat another one.
Okay, I had 3 already. So
I would
I'm
like
good.
to eat one of these with the chocolate.
So you can.
Oh, there are some with chocolate. Yes.
So you can talk about that while I enjoy it.
So one of the suggestions I had after the first round of testing was to add that it needed something a little bit more. It was suggested chocolate chips.
I'm watching for the reaction.
My feeling is that it's a little too much.
Too powerful.
That you
agree?
get too much chocolate, especially if you get the weaker berries that aren't going to have as much flavor.
Right. And it's kind of early in blueberry season.
Yeah, it's going to be, you're going to basically taste mostly chocolate.
What do you think?
I do, but what about white chocolate? Only because I know that white chocolate is often paired with blueberries in the cookies that I and cookies
And
breads
white
that I
chocolate is not really chocolate. We're not going to get into that whole.
We'll get to that at trying to think what pop culture thing would go with the white chocolate recipe. And the chef would know better.
We need
than
to be very careful
Yes.
with that discussion.
Agreed.
With the Power Rangers.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
As 3 white men.
Oh,
3
yes.
Extremely
cis white men.
Yes.
We need to be very fucking careful.
Yeah, no. Fair enough. And you're absolutely right. And, we can joke all day about chocolate, but types of chocolate will draw the line.
Though there is I do have a recipe. It's not specifically a recipe. It's more of a method of cooking. It's caramelized white chocolate.
Ooh, interesting.
And I have yet to play with that. And I've been looking for a reason to do it. So
File
maybe
that in the attic of the mind. Then.
maybe these cookies would be a perfect vehicle for that.
Yeah. So you mentioned before we started recording that there were sort of lessons learned with these because your first batch felt different than this batch. And even between both batches, like what do you think you could have done differently? Which they're delicious, by the way. They're freaking awesome.
No, I think that we've dialed in the recipe, and the biggest thing, like I said, I learned is to make sure you're using the berries you're using are
very good.
Very good, yes. are berry buckantastic.
There you go.
Because again, pop a berry in your mouth. Sound effect. That's not the one I was looking
Yeah,
at.
no, yes, it was.
Pop one in your mouth, and if it's,
You said pop one in your mouth, so I had to.
if it explodes with flavor, that's the one you want to use.
Okay.
Wait a minute. So, if you put a berry in your mouth,
You seem to like the rim shot quite a bit.
I like the rim shot.
All right. I'm kind of...
I like rim jobs better.
Excuse me a second. I just need to... Right up. There we go.
So, if you put a berry in your mouth,
Yep.
and it explodes with flavor, you want to use that same berry?
Yeah.
No, you want to use that batch.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
Just wanted to
way
make
to
sure
know.
that you didn't. That it's not expected that you throw up.
You
that.
want the...
Otherwise, reject that berry.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if this is
Into
a
a cookie.
word. I don't know if this is a word, but you want the ejaculatable berries.
Yeah. No, so you're talking about, you could. That's how you
Do
could
all
get your.
berries? I'm sorry. Hold on. Do all berries
I take a stand a bad path. I'm sorry.
ejaculate?
No.
There's flavor.
Well, only the good ones do.
Only bonds.
Only what?
Only bonds.
Bonds?
Think about it.
Like berry bonds.
Berry.
Hey! Yeah! I don't even know about sport
What about
ball.
the white ones? The berry white ones.
They're a little dark for me.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oops.
What about the berry Bostwicks?
They're a little dry. That doesn't need a sound effect. It's fine. It's fine. So one of my favorite dessert ever is blueberry pie. Period.
Yes.
Like I don't like birthday cake. Make me a birthday pie and put blueberries in it. I'm the happy, and give me vanilla ice cream. I'm the happiest man in the world. So when it comes to dessert, blueberries just scratch that itch like hardcore for me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
These are very, very, very good cookies. I also, if I had to pick a berry to put in my mouth and let it explode all over me,
Yeah.
it'd definitely be a blueberry.
Yeah, because raspberries, gross, right? You don't want
raspberries. Honestly, have those seeds.
Yeah.
and they kind of just stay in my mouth.
They don't leave.
I have a retainer, like a permanent retainer.
Gotcha.
And they'll stick right under that motherfucker
Fun.
for days.
That's fun.
But blueberries are where it's at. It's always kind of been my go-to.
Yep. You have a blueberry bush in your front yard.
I have three very big blueberries.
We have 2 very tiny ones that are still trying to grow.
We have 2 that are getting ready. They've got so many blossoms on it. And then hopefully this year will be the first year we actually get enough fruit out of it to actually do something with.
They are
Blackberry is where it's at for me.
Yes.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
There you go.
You know,
Nope. Not going to do a sound
I've
effect for
heard that.
Not going to do a sound effect for that one. If we had a boo, I would. Do we have a boo? We don't have a boo.
No, we don't
We have
have
an
a boo.
applause. I'm not going to applause that.
I mean, we could go with the Marion berries, but
Love.
taste like crack.
Oh, it's a mayor joke.
It's a mayor of DC joke.
Yeah.
From
If you
the
get it,
90s.
leave a comment because very few people do.
Yes.
Usually sails over everybody's heads.
Well, that cookie was damn delicious.
Dang right. I need some milk.
Would you like milk from a cow that eats men?
Is that all? Is that my only option?
It is your only option.
Then yes. Yes, I
There you
would.
go.
Yes, I would very much.
So wait, what if it's a man
Yes. That eats
eating
cow.
cow?
Yep. And then they're going to make the milk for me. I think I'd just like to see that if that's possible. But I don't know that I would want to drink that.
I have a website for you.
No, you don't. No thanks. That's good.
So the cookies were great.
Yes.
The tick is great.
The tick is great, and there's a lot of blue here, but I know that I don't feel blue after this discussion and these delicious cookies.
Oof, that is the sappiest thing.
Yeah, I'm good at that. I will find more sappiness, I promise.
So, sappiness and blueness aside, if these cookies sound great to you, which they should because they are delicious, and you should make them and put them in your face.
Unless you hate blueberries,
Unless
which
you
if
hate
you do, you might be a monster.
If you hate blueberry, I almost
We can't be friends anymore.
Yeah, I almost want to say don't listen to our podcast.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, well,
but we just can't be friends anymore.
I do have several other blueberry recipes. That
Oh
are coming
boy.
up.
Oh boy. That's good for me, bad for you, random blueberry hater. People could be allergic to blueberries. It's not their fault, right?
But if that's the case, it's not that they hate them. It's just
That's
that
right.
they can't enjoy them.
Right. So live vicariously through us if you're allergic to blueberries. If you hate blueberries, neener, we can't hear you.
Otherwise, this recipe is available.
Recipe is available on our website, pinchofnerd.com, or on our YouTube channel.
And Chef Aaron will teach you how to make these delicious.
Yes.
See me
Berry
on
things
video doing
that'll-
a bunch of
Oh
stuff.
boy.
Will you
like
show the berries exploding with flavor in your mouth on the video?
Oh God, I hope
Be
so. If
showing
you could do one of
something
those like
exploding in
those
flavor.
short, those like time lapse shots of that. Oh,
Yeah, you can find our cooking channel on pornhub.com/
Ooh.
No, wait.
/ pinch of
well, I hear that Pornhub actually does better on the advertising revenue ratio than YouTube nowadays. Unfortunately.
But yeah, that's the episode.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks, Chef Aaron, for providing blueberry
Thank you
yummy
very
cookies.
much, Chef Aaron.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And I would just simply like to recommend the tick.
Yes, if you're not familiar with the tick, check out. Try to find the comics. Like start from Origin Zero. Yeah.
Trying to find the comics. I highly recommend the cartoon.
Highly
It is
recommend
one of
the
my favorite
cartoon.
things that's ever been created.
And if you're interested in the Patrick Warburton series,
I believe that's streaming as well.
yes, that is streaming
I
on
think
Amazon
everything is
Prime
almost streaming at this
at the
point.
time of recording of this episode. And if you still have a DVD player, it's the whole series is on one DVD, or Blu-ray, whatever.
And this has been Pinch of Nerd with me, J. Allen Bell,
And Mark Adams.
And Aaron Bell.
Chef Aaron Bell.
Chef Aaron Bell.
Yeah, you're gonna have to use your title, man.
I have to own it.
Yeah, own it. Wear the medal. Do it.
Bye.
Adios.